Here we are, Challenge the Staff, Brad versus Josh.
Gonna be a good game.
Yeah, Brad, you're up this week. Let's go ahead and start the video. All right, as you can see, Josh coming out real strong with a fast start. I dig it. He hits a very, very comfortable bunker.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really paying attention to where you went, but it looks like you went towards the tank side, which I personally, I like that bunker a lot.
Yeah, so I came up the side there and I was trying to figure out where he was going. I figured I would just break to the tank and go from there. So
yeah, I gave Josh a little bit of advice before the game, not a lot. Very, very little. Very, very little advice. I was like, you could either play defensive or try and go at him. Those are kind of your two options. I think he went with the defensive route, which honestly, in this case, I don't think is necessarily the worst option in the world. But he did find out that cubicle is a little hard to play.
yeah, it's a little hard to play, but if you're doing defensive, it's not too bad. But it's really hard to get your angles on that one because there's not limited field of view. So
it's a very, very limited field of view. It's kind of a double-edged sword. It's hard to shoot out of. It's also very, very hard to shoot into, which
yeah.
I mean you experienced firsthand.
I had a hard time getting at him. So I just kind of bided my time now at the tank and just trying to figure out if he's going to move on me, what he's going to do. And then, yeah, so I was sitting there just kind of throwing some paint, just figuring out what he's going to do.
Yeah, it was honestly kind of a lot of waiting, a lot of prodding from your end to kind of see where his defenses were weak. And he was doing exactly what he should have done, constantly kind of moving back and forth and seeing where his escape was, essentially, where he could find an opening and get out of that bunker. You can see you starting to get a little impatient here.
Yeah, I was kind of not happy with the angles I had, so I knew I had to move at some point. I just wasn't sure when I wanted to.
Well, I think we're going to see, it was right then, almost take out the cameraman in the process, but it did make for a very cool shot. And now you can see you're very aggressively kind of moving up the field. I don't think Josh has realized where you are at this point.
No, not at all, because I was able to just stand there kind of out in the open for a bit and just try to shoot at him. Then he finally figured out where I was at.
Yeah.
And I had to take a little bit more defensive stance.
But regardless, that was an amazing move, and now you've put some very interesting obstacles in between yourself and Josh, and that makes for some very good gameplay. It opens up your options.
Yes, it does. And I was able to kind of push all the way back to his side and just kind of sit there and see if he's going to move, and if not, make my move.
Well, in all honesty, the stuff in between you and him let you set the pace of the gunfight too.
Yeah.
It let you decide whenever you did make that move, gave you a little bit of middle ground to make it up to before you decided to, if you wanted to, decided to try and get him out.
Yeah, so I think right here, yeah, I definitely move up here, and now I'm probably 20 feet from him. And he does not know. He definitely did not know that I moved up here.
No, Josh didn't know about the move up. Now he rounds the side of that cubicle, and I believe you try and put a couple through the cars. It just doesn't quite work. Those are hard to shoot through.
Yeah, I was really disappointed in myself because when I went to go shoot, I forgot that I didn't have an electronic hopper, and the paint doesn't want to go down when your gun's turned sideways. So I sit there. And I think this is right where he comes around.
Honestly, I think he just kind of stays in there. He realizes you're coming for him a little bit. You're putting paint on the cubicle just kind of all over.
Yep, and he's doing his best to use the cracks there and
trying to stay into cover. And then that's it. There's a surrender. No, it was a solid game, though.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun that game.
One of the longer Challenge the Staffs, but not a bad game. Josh put up a great fight. Remember, guys, if you want to come out, you want to challenge us, put your name in the box.
If you win,
you spin.